Hey, everybody. Welcome to TalkBox. Please press like and subscribe if you like the show and you want to subscribe to it. That makes sense. Today's guest is Horatio Gould. He's awesome, man. He's a podcaster. He's all over the place. Boys Gone Crazy, Finn versus History, Finn versus Crazy. No, that last one is not existing. Let's have a good time.
Hello.
Horatio,
How you
what are you
doing?
doing?
I'm here for the podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sit
You
down.
asked me to come here.
Here's the water.
Oh, thank
asked
you.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really appreciate your coming
No,
down.
of course.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
It's an honor.
Oh, well, yeah. Thank
I'm
you.
a huge Mighty Boosh fan.
Well-
I'm sure you get that a lot.
Not as much anymore.
No?
Yeah. Sometimes I
Is
get
there now a lot more? I'm a huge TalkBox fan.
TalkBox.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the new generation, though. They haven't seen Mighty Boosh. They now TalkBox is for younger people.
A
Mighty
lot of-
Boosh is old heads.
It's old as, and then they try to get their grandkids or their sons and daughters to
Yeah.
see the show, and yeah, my sons are now watching it.
I mean, it's the best.
And
It
hated
blew my
it.
head off when I saw it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and no one, you can't make stuff like that anymore. Do you know what I mean?
You can't.
No, it's illegal.
Why not?
If you make something that funny these days, you get thrown in prison.
That's true. That's
You know.
true.
Back when comedy was funny, that's where you were doing it.
I should have a cigar
Yeah.
while we're talking about this. But you've just done a sketch show,
Yes.
which we'll talk about.
Yes.
Okay, I promise
I
we're going to
appreciate
talk
that.
about
It probably
that.
wouldn't exist without Mighty Boosh.
Really?
Without your performance in Mighty Boosh, that was
Are we going to get a thank you at the end credits?
no, God no.
No,
That'd
okay.
be weird. I think that'd be strange.
That would be awkward,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. But so you grew up like a real comedy nerd, can I say that?
Yeah, I was a nerd for lots of things in comedy. I would say so. I was
History.
very into like film, history, film, comedy.
What was your favorite film growing up?
What was my favorite film?
Escape to Witch Mountain, right?
No, well, don't ask me the question and then force your own memories on mine.
That's what I'm doing. I want us to bond. Yeah, Escape to Witch Mountain. No. What was a bit in the top?
What was in the
10?
top? I think the first thing I saw in cinema was Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King, and then my mum was sat between me and a 90-year-old man, and she realised that one of us had pissed ourselves because I was only 4 years old, and sadly I think it might have been both of us.
On his popcorn.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh man. So that's like a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, but I'd seen the first two and got really into it when I was like a kid, and then finding out that one was being released while I was 6 years old, I couldn't believe it. And I think even seeing but I was 6 years old, but seeing the title credits coming, I think I immediately pissed myself with excitement. I couldn't believe it.
Those are the people in the film.
That's what you want to do, though.
Right.
And that's when I was like, I need to do that for someone else.
Yeah.
At some point, I need to make something so monumental that a title credit comes up and they all immediately piss themselves. That's like out of pure excitement.
But that's like an epic film. Like, wasn't there like a silly little film that you saw, or Bend It Like Beckham? Or,
Yeah. I, Robot.
Yes.
I, Robot with Will Smith. That was a great film.
You like science fiction?
I do like science fiction.
Men
yeah.
in Black. Did you like
Men in
that?
Black, not as much, but yeah.
No,
it's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
I like Star Wars as well. I liked it.
Interstellar.
I do like Interstellar. Yeah, I do. I think there's parts that I find silly.
Yeah.
I think if I watch Interstellar on the plane, I will cry for sure.
They
There's
have it
something-
on IMAX,
There's
too.
something, yeah. I know. I don't think it's only on the plane.
You'll cry a lot more if it's on IMAX.
I don't know if that's true, actually.
Oh.
because I think there's something about the thinness of the air up in the sky where I only really cry at films when I'm in the air.
I'll watch anything in the air, like films I would never watch.
Yeah. But then you'll be crying over an Adam Sandler film.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw one of the best films I've ever. Click by Adam Sandler. Do you know that film Click?
I'd never seen that one.
Well, that has one of the saddest moments of all time. I was 8 years old when I saw that, and I was bawling.
Because
tears.
he lost the remote, you were crying because it's so tragic.
Did he lose the remote? Do you remember what I'm talking about? Yeah. So it's an amazing story. It's basically.
Kenny, you didn't tell me you saw Click. I thought I knew.
No, it's a wonderful film. Basically, this guy gets given a remote. Adam Sandler gets given a remote by Dustin Hoffman. And he can now control his life. So he can pause it, he can rewind it, he can have another go. So then he kind of tries to build this amazing life. But then the remote starts glitching, and he starts missing moments. He starts losing control, and he basically he becomes old and fat, and his family don't want to see him.
So it was like, don't get addicted to TV.
I was too young to really put on to it anything past it's a guy with the remote who can control his life. But there's this one scene, and it's raining, so it's extra sad, in a car park, and then his family are like leaving him in the hospital, and he crawls out to see them, and he's crying, and
it's raining.
Yeah, it was raining. That was the sad bit, and yeah, that hit me like a ton of bricks.
That would be wild if he gave him the remote, and all it was The Graduate, because Dustin Hoffman gave it to him. It was like stuck on. Never mind. That was a bad idea. I'm just,
that's a terrible idea.
Just brainstorming here. There's
a lot of
Click
2, maybe.
Yeah, Click 2.
I don't think that Dustin Hoffman. He's not playing himself in the film, so I think.
Okay.
It'd be strange.
Clickbait. That would be another one.
Well, that's the modern. That's the world we live in now.
Yeah.
And that's what needs to change.
Right. So, and you were also into comedy? Like, some people I talk to on the show, they're into, like, records first.
Yeah.
I mean, like their parents had vinyl records, and you sort of listened to them. But you were, like, more into...
I was into, books,
Goonies.
films, I was always into comedy. Like, Life of Brian, I watched that every Christmas. I couldn't believe that. And
that they were saying the stuff they did, or
I just couldn't believe that you could be funny like that in a film. And it's just like every scene is like an iconic banger.
Yeah,
it's like it's a perfect album basically of sketches, all sewn together. And they just didn't really look like other people from other films. They didn't really look like other films because it was so like it was funded by George Harrison, but it just felt like no studio made their films. It looked kind of crap. And that was kind of amazing as well. Yeah. And like none of the stars looked like Hollywood stars. They all looked kind of mangled. And I was like, that's when I felt I saw myself on the screen.
My mom's like that. She thinks everybody that's like on the screen should be good looking. So she gets literally disgusted if there's some ugly person.
But that's mums, my mum watches a lot of like hospital dramas, like the ER. There's a new one coming out called The Pit.
The Pit.
Yeah, which everyone's watching. And it's like, for that kind of show, they should be all attractive. Do you know what I mean? Like those are shows designed for people who've worked a long day. They've sat down. They've been dealing with ugly people all day. Yeah. You sit down to watch TV, you should have a break from how ugly most people are.
Exactly.
And I think that's... So certain things, it should be.
The Pit's getting all these awards now.
Is it?
Yeah.
What awards?
Like Emmy Awards,
right.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Which I find interesting because usually the first series is the best. And then nobody has watched it at that point. But then they start watching. And then by that point, they start to suck a little. And then they win. I don't know what I'm saying. Oh, no. What I'm saying is you don't win initially, but then that's when you should, because that's when your best work is, usually in the first couple of seasons.
So
but then when it's
what's
very
the moral
popular,
of the story?
Well, popular wins a lot of the time.
Yeah. No, yeah.
What about stand-up? Were you into?
I wasn't
stand-up?
into. I saw Michael McIntyre live and laughing when I was like 12, and that I'd never seen anyone do stand-up. I always assumed I'd hate stand-up.
Yeah.
Then I saw that, and that was really funny.
Like it's hacky, old school stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess my parents went into stand-up. They were into like comedies. They were into like Blackadder, like stuff, Monty Python, stuff like that. My dad was into all that stuff, but he never talked about stand-up. So, but I saw that. I then realised that people could do that as a job. I thought it was very funny. I still didn't think I would be doing something like that. I think I was more influenced by like Have I Got News for You? Because my mum used to watch that.
Yeah.
And she used to crease hard when she heard satire about current events. When she heard a quip about the current Prime Minister, she would fold over laughing.
Really?
And that's when I was like, I could do something like that, I feel.
Would you do anything in school that was kind of related to that? Like
definitely. I was always, from like 11 years old, I was making sketches with my current sketch partner. We were using, I had like a laptop and an iMovie on it, and we used to film with the camera on the laptop and make things. So we used to hold it like that.
See, that's good.
But there was, I think, we did about a year's worth of stuff. The first year has all been lost because I accidentally deleted it all.
Oh no!
The lost files. But there was quite a lot of fat shaming in the first thing we made. I think
it's almost good that it was.
Yeah, we
lost.
made like a mockumentary about like our house at school, and one of the characters we called the local fat boy, and he was fat.
He was fat, yeah.
So now I probably wouldn't have done something like that.
That guy today is Keir Starmer.
No, he's not.
No.
He's actually, I think he's a reform counsellor now.
Oh, okay.
So maybe the cruelty of the way we treated him, he's like, this is the law of nature. This is the law of the jungle.
This happens.
Might is right, sort of. Maybe he learned that from us, bullying him.
Yeah. So you did loads of sketches, and then when did you first start to? Because you started stand-up really young.
I started at uni, and basically, I mean, this is pretentious, but it's true. I was doing for A level. I did philosophy, and our teacher, who barely ever taught anyone anything, like he was in charge of getting everyone into Oxbridge and got no one in.
Right.
But he was
I'll get you in.
Yeah, but he never did it again. So it was like, I think our school got like 12 kids into Oxbridge. Then he was in charge, 0 kids. Next year, 15 kids, someone else. But he was a great teacher. And he showed, instead of teaching us, he used to show clips. And he showed a Stuart Lee clip, that immigration routine. Do you know that one?
Yes.
And then I immediately realised that stand-up could be really pretentious and superior. And I was like, okay, maybe I do want to do this.
Yeah.
And so I became obsessed with it from there. And I always just thought it would be something I'd do alongside filmmaking. Mm-hmm. But then it just sort of...
It took off.
Run. And yeah, I just started writing. I had a Google Doc that I'd built for like 2 years from the age of 16.
And this was before, YouTube became big.
All of my stand-up education was YouTube. So it was on YouTube. And that's why I'm like, I want everything I do to be on YouTube.
You didn't think about monetizing at all?
When I was 16?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. There wasn't like YouTubers in the same way.
Yeah.
I think it was like Zoella. There was sort of that era of YouTuber.
Yeah.
But everything I know about stand-up, so a lot of people have their like key stand-up moments watching TV with their family or like seeing it live, but all of mine were like boot cuts of like Chris Rock on YouTube.
Oh, right.
That have to be like reversed to stop copyright infringement. Like those are like my big moments where I was like.
And who did you kind of look up to? Or?
Well, I love Stuart Lee. I love Patrice O'Neill. I love Bill Burr. I loved Louis. Of course. I love Kevin Bridges.
He's
I
great.
love Billy Connolly. I love Dylan Moran. I love Maria Bamford.
Yeah. Did you see the documentary?
Which one?
They just came out with a Maria Bamford one. Yeah, it's really
good.
Yeah. So you
Sarah
started
Silverman as well.
That's the thing. You just started doing it, though. A lot of people do it just to do it, and then they forget about it.
Yeah. Well, I think it was funny because I was by no means a prodigy at stand-up, which I think really disappointed me. Because I just I'm starting so young. This is brilliant. I'm going to do it, but I wasn't at all.
But that's what I'm saying.
It took me ages to be half. In my head, it was like, this is going to be like, as you start young, and then it's going to be like the youngest person to do all this stuff.
Yeah,
and it just took me ages.
No, but
I had a huge head start, and still it sort of flattened out.
That's the thing, though. You kept doing it.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, what was it about it? Like, if you didn't do well, did you always look on the positive side of it and go, "Oh, that bit worked. That didn't work."
I think weirdly with the stand-up, I think some people, they didn't realize they wanted to do anything, and then they found stand-up. I was like, I'm going to make something, no matter what. Be it like even when I was like 8 years old, I thought I was going to like be an inventor. I didn't know what that meant. I thought I was going to build like machines or something.
Yeah.
Then I couldn't do that. Then I thought I was going to be a musician. Then I was crap at that. Then I thought I was going to be a painter. Then I was crap at that. So it's just like trial and error.
Yeah.
Failing at every single art form.
I was going to be a brain surgeon.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you start in the clubs?
I didn't try anything.
There's no like. Is there a grassroots brain surgery scene?
I just heard that you had to be really smart to be a brain surgeon.
And you're like, count me out.
Yeah.
Whereas before you thought it would be like a DOS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So stand-up stuck because you were somewhat good at it.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. Well, a good first gig, and that'll keep you going for the first 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people have a good first gig because it's just so much pressure, and everything's so on the line, and then you sort of chase that. I chased that feeling for another 3 years,
and it's all magnified in that first gig.
Bombing my ass off. Also, I went to uni, and I think what I do stand up as myself, talking about my opinions. So I guess straight stand up.
Which is
it's sort of similar to stand-up that Louis K, Bill Burr, that sort of stuff, just talking about things I think. But because I was doing it at uni in the UK in the mid-2010s, it meant that it was like a lot of alternative prop comedy, poetry, kind of characters. So everyone looked at me like I was a complete freak.
Yeah.
There'd be like a guy dressed as a snake with a book of poems being like, yeah, anyway... I did feel very like...
No, but now
I completely stood out because no one was just talking about what they thought.
It's all come back to that style now. You were the forerunner.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
I would say so.
I know. I remember doing alternative stand-up nights. Somebody would do stand-up as the Elephant Man. And
but they'd be looking at you just like, what the fuck are you doing?
But I would prefer being a character initially because you didn't feel comfortable in your own skin. Yeah. But
now, what style of stand-up do you do now?
I do it as an elephant. No, I don't. I just do it as myself.
Yeah. I like that. That's what. I'm pretty like uninventive when it comes to stand-up as a form because I really like the purity of it.
But when you were growing up, was your family life, you expressed your opinions a lot?
That's none of your business.
Did you?
Stop prying now.
No, but I mean, some people would they'd be around the dinner table and they'd be talking about stuff.
A very opinionated family.
Yes.
And you were very encouraged to say what you thought.
Because it seems like things flow freely from your mouth.
Are you trying to... What are you trying to say?
I'm saying you've got a problem.
We've been talking for about 20 minutes. You're saying I got no filter.
No, not a filter, but you very easily you can talk about things.
Yes.
Like if I
don't know about.
Space lasers, you could talk about that.
Yeah, for sure.
What is it about?
Well, space lasers have changed, haven't they?
Yeah.
What is a space laser has changed from the 70s to now, don't you think?
Yeah.
They're like it has more texture on it now than it used to. Don't you think? Don't you think?
Yeah.
Doesn't
I
agree
think
with me.
so.
Yeah.
So you're doing the stand-up at uni, and then you graduated, and then you just decided to. When did you decide that you just wanted to do it full time?
Well, you don't get to decide you want to do it full time. Someone else decides, sort of,
For
or the
you.
collective.
Did you have an agent when you graduated, or
No, it took me ages to get an agent.
Yeah.
Even though I was, it took me. Lots of people were getting agents after like 5 gigs, and it was like, well, I'm about 10 years younger than them and better than them. Can I not have an agent, please? So it actually took a while for me to get an agent, but I did. I went full time maybe like 4 years ago.
Okay.
So I was like part time editing, producing for like 4 or 5 years out of uni.
Oh, nice.
Until it took off enough.
Yeah.
But I was always doing podcasts pretty much alongside it.
What was the first pod you did?
I did during lockdown. You know, that first lockdown, I was 22 and I was back at my mum's, and we weren't allowed to see anyone. So I just went in her garden shed and did a podcast every day, or 5 times a week, 20 minutes at a record. And I would just talk about a boy gone wild from history. So it's sort of blending the two podcasts I do now. And to be honest, it's the most creative flow state I've ever been in. It was like the most peaceful I've ever been. Is no one else is doing anything, so you've got no FOMO. I'm at home. I would always record at 6 p.m-ish because I needed the sunlight still. After that, I'd have a joint, 3 beers. I'd watch TV, and then I would, about 1 a.m, I'd go upstairs and I'd edit for 2 hours. I'd release it on YouTube, scheduled for the next day, go to bed 3, 4 a.m. I'd then wake up at 1 p.m, have 5 hours just sitting in the garden in the sunshine. Then I'd research the episode during that time, start all over again. And it was like the perfect circadian rhythm, because it would like, you could be as late as there's nothing to...
You owe your creativity from the deaths of millions.
100%. Also, it was this complete power grab for young comedians, lockdown, because we were all in this massive queue behind much more talented circuit comedians who are far more skilled and funny than us. But then lockdown happened.
It was catch-up time.
But then it was digital. They didn't know how to use social media and stuff.
No.
So it just gave this huge boost to younger comedians.
And what about...
Completely unfairly.
No, but...
And also they were all dying because they were old as well. So it was a double whammy.
They would catch it.
Yeah.
Did you get COVID?
Yeah, I think I got the hat trick. I got 3.
3?
3-peat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So
did you get COVID?
Yeah.
Do you still have it?
No. Just in the nose. Yeah. But wasn't it part of it that you wanted to see the reaction to, like, if you were just doing this in a vacuum, that would be fine. But it was also getting feedback from people about, oh, wow, I got all these hits. And
what is the question? If I
wasn't part of the driving force of the creativity.
If I was the only person on earth, I probably wouldn't be putting YouTube videos out. If that's what the question is, yes, you're right. I probably
I got him. All right, thank you, everybody.
I can say pretty confidently if I was last man on earth, I would not podcast.
Yeah, you'd be doing shit.
I don't know. I'd be fucking collecting scrap metal. I don't know. There's other more important stuff to do.
Well, plus you wouldn't know.
I mean, I can imagine there's certain art forms you would still probably want to express yourself in if you're on your own. I can imagine painting if you're on your own.
Art would be more important.
Yeah, because that feels like a... Yeah. But I think doing a sort of comedy podcast, I don't know.
Unless you thought maybe at the end, like when you died, when aliens would come and then they'd look at you as the standard bearer for humans.
Yeah, unless that.
Yeah.
Unless that was the case. I think so, yeah.
So COVID was... So you started that podcast, and then you did another podcast quickly after
No,
that?
that podcast, as soon as lockdown ended, so I did like about 40 episodes of that.
And by then it was really popular.
No. It was popular for what I had nothing, so it was something. Like I was getting maybe like 500, 600 views an episode.
That's pretty
which
good.
It was good for me because I'd literally nothing I'd ever done meant anything at that point. And then my old school friend who I made that local Fat Boys film with, we also went to university together, and we did a student radio show for 3 years at the uni we went to, called the Gould and Kerwin Show.
Did you go to school together by choice? Like, let's go to the same school.
Same uni by choice.
Yeah.
But not the same school. And then when I didn't want to do a solo podcast after lockdown, so then we decided to do Mighty Boosh Gone Wild, a double podcast. We basically just redid our radio show.
Nice.
So it wasn't it was a new podcast, but the same branding, same name, basically.
And you just kept doing it.
I did relentlessly. I guess part of podcasting is the horror of podcasting is the weekly nature of it.
I know. Tell me about it.
Because I think things used to just end. You used to do TV shows and you do a season or like a series and you maybe not get renewed. But there's just this endlessness to podcasts, and that is kind of like you stare down the barrel of it and you're like, there's no one's going to actually tell us to stop.
Did you ever want to quit?
Well, it depends. You sometimes want to do other projects.
Yeah.
And there's ebbs and flows. I think it's nice to make sure that you make something creative every week. That's just done.
Yeah.
So, and also Boosh Gone Wild, more so than history, I guess, is like a diary of the last 6 years. Like there's over an hour of me having a conversation with Andrew every week for the last 6 years, pretty much without fail.
Right.
So it's nice that you kind of have you talk about how you're feeling that week every week for 6 years, which is nice, but also sounds horrible. Depends how you look at it. It's either like, wow, that must be therapeutic to release, or is like, well, that sounds like you've like you're like a Greek myth and you're being punished for something.
Plus, that's
forced.
How Sisyphus.
Yeah, I'm forced to talk on a podcast for the rest of my life.
You get connected to your audience, though, because people know you guys and they're just like living your life as well.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I heard this. No, I heard this.
No, it's a good point. People do connect with you through podcasts.
But the weekly nature of it, that's the thing. It's like relentless. And you're told, if you don't put something out every week, that's it. It's just going to go downhill.
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
What's nice about the history podcast is that we can batch cook, and it's because it's about history. It's about a set topic, but so you can sort of like I'm 5 weeks off history for now.
What's the most you've ever batch cooked?
Probably
I've never heard that term, but I'm using it.
You never heard batch cook?
No.
Not even for like batch cooking, like meals.
No, batch cook.
Seven weeks. We've done 7 weeks worth of stuff.
Because you're going on a holiday.
Yeah. And that's great because you can just work it around. You just like, but Boosh Gone Wild is pretty much every week without fail. So sometimes you're glad for it, sometimes you're not.
But that's the thing, though. There's something inside of you that keeps going.
Keeps talking. Into a mic, yeah.
You have to do it. It's part of you.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. Or is it just I always think about what era you're in. And I guess partly because I'm do so much about history, I just happen to be, for better or worse, I'm just born in the podcast age.
Yeah.
Which I think does inexplicably have a less artful. I just feel like there's something that undermines a creative person by having that much stuff out. You look at great artistic moments in history. You look at sort of like, I don't know, the artistic boom in Paris in the 1920s.
Right.
The writers there, Hemingway, Scott Fitzgerald.
Picasso cranked out loads of stuff.
I guess so, but he never had to be on a podcast. you know, if you're a writer, you spend ages writing a book, and then that's it. You agree that I'm happy with that. I'm happy for that to go out.
Yeah.
And there's a level of mystique that creatives, I think, had in other art forms. Not even saying this is an art form, but this, I think, every week I undermine my mystique to a point where I think it's, it's unsalvageable.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a huge part of what makes, for me, creative people who I'm interested in is the fact you only know little bits about it, and you can imagine what they're really like.
Yeah.
And it's because any great artist, if you forced them to do a podcast, they would humiliate themselves. Like, I think
it's like dying
if
young.
Dostoevsky, I'm not comparing myself to Dostoevsky at all, but if Dostoevsky,
You
for
are
example,
kinda.
I'm saying as a thought experiment, if Dostoevsky, you know, a great author, he writes books about the human condition, morality, these really rich, big themes.
Yeah.
If he had to do a podcast every week, I do think episode 52, he'd be like, would you rather have a cock for a nose or a nose for a cock? Like, he'd run out of things to do. And I'm not comparing myself to him. I'm just saying that you do, because this is the age we live in. You're doing a podcast. I'm sure you didn't want to do a podcast.
I love doing a podcast. People, I love this.
Yeah. This wasn't the dream. Do you know what I mean, though?
So you're saying all great
or
art
even great
is already done?
No, I'm just saying that podcast uniquely undermines art.
Yeah. No, it does.
And even like Dostoevsky's obviously a lofty example, but even like Richard Pryor or George Carlin or something like that, I feel.
Or Richard Osman.
Or Richard Osman. These kind of, you know, I think Osman, I'd love to keep more mystique with Richard Osman.
No, but
I mean?
I heard him on a podcast, his podcast, I think.
Yeah.
And he was saying there's a pressure now because he's cranking out those Thursday murder clubs.
He's cranking it out all day.
Like,
he's non-stop cranking.
10 times a day.
Yeah, he's cranking it out.
But it's like he says there's a pressure to do that now, even with big authors. You know,
to write stuff.
Yeah, you can't wait like 2 years. I wrote a book, I'm going to wait 2 years.
I mean, he also said that, like, in the 70s, if you were on TV, you were famous forever. Like, if you had, like, a TV show in the 70s, that was
Morecambe and Wise.
Yeah, you're famous forever. You do, like, because everyone watched it and everyone would know you and you'd be shorthand for forever. Now it's like, it's sort of like, you know those, like, those torches that you turn on by squeezing them? You know,
yes,
like, that's what being famous now is like. If you stop, the light completely goes out and it's all gone forever. So you just have to.
You're a little bit too good at that.
What you're implying?
Nothing.
Okay.
Also, those wiggly things, you know, in the 50s, they had, you know, you have the strap around your butt and it jiggles for exercise.
Oh, right, the lazy exercise thing.
Yeah.
What about
that's
that?
immortal.
Well, I don't understand your point.
Those things stick out. Whereas,
is that immortal? I barely knew what you're talking about.
Look it up. It's immortal.
Well, if you say look it up, I feel that sort of undermined your point. Maybe.
No. I guess what I'm trying to say is there's so much going on now.
It's a good point.
Yeah. It's difficult to sift the wheat from the chaff.
Definitely.
Yeah. Even with podcasts. I mean, it's so cool that yours is just, I mean, it's really good.
Thank
you.
By the way. I appreciate that.
And the fact that you've done that is the quality has risen to the top, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But what if, okay.
So you're saying that like it's a question waiting. Sure.
Has it? No. Has it risen to the top?
Yeah, I guess so.
But supposing you get like somebody approaches you about a movie role with Danny DeVito.
Are you doing that now?
Maybe Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. Okay.
No. And it's 3 months in Tangiers. Are you going to turn that down because you've got the podcast?
Well, hopefully. Well, this is the thing. And the sketch show that I sent you before this, a lot of what I'm trying to do now is it's like, as much as the...
Escape.
As much as the industry has changed to the point where you could do a podcast, You can make more money than TV. You can be more famous than TV. You can have all the things that you originally wanted from, or like, you know, more people will engage with your work than you could do going through any traditional media. Doesn't mean that I still don't want to do some of those things that I got into this for. And I felt like I only did podcasts because no one was asking me to do anything else. We've made the sketch show pilot because we did phone sketches, me and Andrew, for like 3-4 years, 5 years. But at the end, it's like, where does this go? Like a couple of them pop. And it's like, do we just keep making them? It felt like the people at the top of the game and the bottom of the game were all just going like this.
Yeah.
Surely there needs to be a promotion at some point. Do you know what I mean? The best sketch makers in the world are like, and the worst sketch makers in the world, like, and it's like there needs to be some.
It's all about.
No one asked us to make the sketch show. We made it ourselves, just so as like, even if we die tomorrow, at least we've made something like reminiscent of why we even got into this for the first place.
It's all about your goals, because some people are happy just to keep doing it, but you want to do something further.
Yeah, I'd like. Yeah, so if there's like a film role, or like something working in film, I probably would have to try and negotiate that with the podcast, because I definitely don't. I could just sit on and do the podcast, but I think I would become quite frustrated if I just did the podcast.
Now, what was the genesis of the sketch show? When did you decide, hey,
I think,
do it?
So obviously, me and Andrew, starting with that local Fat Boy film that's lost to the annals, The Lost Files.
Shame.
It is a shame.
If anybody sees it out there, please send it in.
All of our sketches, I feel, seem like they could fit into a sketch show from like late night BBC Two in the 2000s, or even like the Mighty Boosh era, which was the golden age of that sort of stuff, which I'm very nostalgic for. And so I think
BBC3.
To name but another channel. And I think we wanted to make our kind of perfect pilot. What was amazing is because we did it with our own money. Having no one is having no one you have to ask anything.
Oh, it's the best.
It's absolutely incredible.
It's the
and I think you
best.
can see with it because we wrote it. Like we'll pitch it now, but we didn't pitch it beforehand because I just wanted it to be literally only for us.
So you never pitched it to anyone. You just said, we're going to do it ourselves.
I think we had spoken over the years. You know when you have like a call with Channel 4?
Yes.
And there's like removal men taking their sofas out the background to try and make money. Like you can literally see the whole system crumbling. And they're like, let's have another meeting in 6 months. As literally like this lorry is taking away any sort. They're selling off any BAFTAs they had, melting them down for gold, just to try and stay afloat.
They don't have any money.
Yeah, exactly. So then you just realise that.
And comedy's the lowest rung.
And it's also these people's, their jobs is to have meetings.
Yeah.
So you'll go for a meeting, you get excited, and you realise they just needed the lunch.
False excitement.
They needed a tax-expended lunch.
Yeah.
So
it's a write-off to them.
So
You're
I thought,
a write-off.
But literally after this, I'm gonna meet to talk to someone about the sketch show. It won't mean anything.
Oh, so you'll present this as a thing.
But if no one makes it, hopefully we can still make another episode.
So do you have a date though when you're gonna air this?
Yes, it'll be this Sunday, but I don't know when this is coming out. When's this coming out?
You want it to come out this week?
Yeah, well, if it comes out next week, it's already out. If it comes out this week, it comes out this Sunday.
If they missed it, will they be able to see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know YouTube? It's this thing you can post stuff on there, and it's sort of just up forever.
Red
and white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an achievement. How long did it take you to film it?
Well, we filmed it in February last year, so it's a long time ago. It took us 5 days to film it, and then lots of stuff happened. This was just before the History podcast took off as well, and then the edit's been a nightmare.
I love the edits though. The way you
the
sketches
the
together.
one that I've sent you half edited because we're still literally. I've put this date because if we don't have a hard deadline, we'll never make it. But it's going to be like Indiana Jones under the door grabbing the hat. That's going to be. We're going to hand it off literally an hour before we can.
But I love the way though that you're treating it as something that goes on TV.
Yeah.
In that, you know how some people do sketch shows where it's sketch. You tie them in.
Yeah.
And all that sort of TV stuff that you can do, you utilize it.
Well, I think we watched quite a few sketch shows when we were writing it to try and see what we liked, what we didn't like. And I think like something like I Think You Should Leave, I think it's amazing, Tim Robinson. The only criticism I'd have, or the thing that is because all the sketches are roughly the same length, I think psychologically, you know when the big punch is going to come after you've watched a few of them.
Yeah.
Because they spent all this money on the setup. You know that this is going to be at least 3.5, 5 minutes. So you know it's going to be a minute of setup.
Got a hot dog van.
Yeah,
They're going to spend.
So you know when it's coming from. But what we wanted to do with this is like try and flit around with the times as much as possible.
Exactly.
So once a sketch starts, you don't know if it's going to be 10 seconds or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think as a viewer, I think that means that it's much less predictable when the punch is going to be. Mm-hmm. And I like that. Big Train did that really well.
We were doing a show. We did a show, Snuff Box, and we were told, this is the way you do a sketch show. And then it was like somebody just had this old school notion of like, you do 16 sketches, you cut out 4, and then you just put them all together. It's like, no, we wrote them all as a script.
Yeah. And just, they should all flow. I think what makes a sketch show fun is that it's flowing and trying to hit constant different rhythms and beats, and like it should. If it keeps following the same rhythms, then I think it can get quite repetitive.
Because you notice that a lot of sketch shows that were, like, say, a sketch troupe did well on stage, that their first series is their sketches that they did on stage. So it's not necessarily the most. You're not playing to the medium. Yeah. Then they start to play to the medium, and it gets even better.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. I hope it does really well. I'm excited.
Well, I hope it does well enough that people will give us some money to make more so that I don't have to pay for it. But
this is a dumb question, but do you just... you've got it ready to go for the 12th.
No.
No, but
we're still editing it. Once we do, it'll be ready to go. Once it's ready, it'll be ready to go.
You're going to watch it?
Yeah. I mean, arguably, if you put money into something like this, you should then ship it around, maybe put it up for some awards, but I like just putting it out on YouTube. I'm a huge... Of all the social medias, I've discovered all my favorite stuff. I think YouTube's amazing.
Best.
Because I love having all my old radio shows on YouTube. I put everything I've pretty much ever done is free to access on YouTube, because it's like you'll be watching football highlights, or you'll be watching a fucking explainer about Alexander the Great, and then you'll see in that window anything can be there. Yes. I love how everything is in one place.
If you're watching Netflix, YouTube?
No, I'm not. I should be though. YouTube actually pay really badly as well.
You mean on their partnership program?
But I still like them nonetheless. That's how much my pure love of YouTube is.
It is great.
I don't like YouTubers. I think they're a scourge.
Who's the worst?
Well, I don't know if I'd go. I think I was already risking me saying that. But YouTube is a thing, I think. Still has a lot of potential.
I bet if you had a few in you, you'd say something.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is early in the morning.
A few who and me?
Boozers.
A few YouTubers.
Yeah, that too. Are you going to try to do another one? Or?
I think we'll have to see how it goes. We'll definitely do it differently and much more efficiently.
I would buy this show if I were a
sure,
network.
Great. Oh no, okay.
But I mean,
do you have any? Okay, no,
I wish I did.
Yeah, okay.
I wish I did.
But you would.
But to me, it's a no-brainer.
Okay, but then who are you then?
I'm nobody.
You got no. You said you.
I've got no clout.
Yeah, but so you won't buy it.
Well, here's the thing, though. People aren't buying comedy these days. People don't buy they'll buy dramas.
Yeah.
Out the wazoo.
Yeah.
Somebody gets kidnapped. They
Brilliant.
take them to Glasgow. Okay, I've seen that.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think the problem is as well, so sketch shows are financially a disaster for a channel. They'll make you no money because it's 6 episodes, or you can't do that many of them. It's not that repeatable. If it's fucking reality TV, you can just pump out 1 million of them. You can't do that with sketch.
And even if you present the sketch show, they'll want runners because, like, we want to use this location more than once.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like basically the only reason why any channel will get a sketch show is clout.
Yeah.
Like, Netflix lost money making I Think You Should Leave. But the fact that I Think You Should Leave is on the platform is good for Netflix because it's like we're supporting a cool young comedy thing, but they'll make all their money from fucking Love Is Blind or something.
Exactly.
So you're a lost sketch show is a loss leader. So you are asking someone, can I be your loss leader, basically?
Yeah. Well, that's why there was a period in the late 90s and the mid 2000s, or just before mid,
9/11,
where there was crazy
sorry.
Commissioners that are willing to go to be in your corner no matter what. They have as many failures as they do successes.
But you do know you were in a golden age, right? You must look back on, and was it as...
But a lot of it has to do with a commissioner that will back you.
But yeah, because I guess, so for me, and I think the era of comedy that I started doing stand-up in was like the 2010s, which I think was pretty much a desert for comedy in this country. Yeah. The era before is probably the best period of comedy in British history, I'd say. I would argue from maybe the Day Today in 1994 till the last season of The Thick of It is probably the best 15-year period. You got Garth Marenghi's Dark Places, Nathan Barley, Big Train, Peep Show, Partridge, Snuff Box, UK Office. You can IT Crowd. It's like great. I guess no one was making stuff on their phones. Everyone was making it on TV. The only place you could do it.
all on TV. So yeah.
Mighty Boosh. I mean, that's it. Yeah. So was the scene just like everyone was? What were producers like then?
It was a scene,
man. It seems like it was. So would you have lunch with a producer and then it might actually go somewhere?
Well, yeah, because
which is foreign to us.
Yeah. This is how it was with us, with our sketch show, was we were, what was Little Britain, got taken from BBC Three and moved to BBC One, and they go, we need a sketch show. Mm. And Matt Berry and I had been pushing other types of shows, like I think there was one where we were going to be ghost hunters, all sorts of ideas, and they go, you can do a sketch show. We will commission you if you do a sketch show. And then we go, okay.
So like, without even seeing the sketch show?
Yeah.
They're just like, I mean, that's just crazy.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like shame. The people that fish and the fish just jump into the boat.
Yeah. And I guess no one really watches TV anymore, but then I think the mistake that TV makes is they think the reason no one watches TV is because stuff's not being made that people would want to watch.
Yeah.
I still think people still would maybe crave a bit of traditional.
I think so.
Media.
There is a demand for it. Here's the difference too with the UK TV and US.
Yeah.
Is in UK, if you are big enough and you ask for a sketch show, like if Michael McIntyre said, I want to do a sketch show, he could do one. But it would be based on, I am Michael McIntyre.
Yeah, the Michael McIntyre sketch show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Horatio, there is a formatted segment.
Please, I was waiting for it. I was thinking, where the fuck's this formatted segment coming in?
Well, we saved it for last, right? Okay. I ask you 5 questions with a blank. It's called fill in the blank. It's not blankety blank.
Okay.
And you don't have to be funny or anything.
But there's a heavy pressure.
It could be a clip. Funny.
It could say, this whole podcast relies on it.
Say that. All this stuff about sketches. God damn it. Number 1. The last thing I drew was blank.
It was a guy's face like this.
Is that a go-to or?
Yeah, when I'm doodling, it's just like a guy in immense pain.
I wish I could draw that.
I think that's quite easy to draw.
I could not draw.
It's kind of a guy with this like big Alpha Chad jawline, but he's in immense pain and the blood vessels are popping out his eyes.
And you doodle a lot?
Yeah. If I have not very good, but.
That's good.
Thank you.
Number 2, blank is what I say when I need to leave a boring conversation.
Needs to go to the toilet.
Really?
Always, but you have to try and space them out. Sometimes you get caught if you get. Have you ever done it? So I'll go to the bathroom, wait in there, even if I don't need the toilet, count, and then I'll go back out, and sometimes I get sucked in, and I'm back here again. I'm like, fuck me, how I can't say toilet again.
No. What if somebody now, having seen this, somebody approaches you and you go, I have to go to the toilet?
Well, I don't think it works. That's not how you can't do it like that.
Okay.
You can't have a boring person coming near you and you shout at them, I need the toilet. It
That's
has to
somebody
be,
who's doing it wrong.
You have to dip out of a conversation you're already in.
Yes.
Because then it seems quite aggressive. Because they might not even be coming towards you, and if you just shout, I need the toilet, it seems like you're in a lot of pain. It's almost like they need to come help you, because it sounds like a cry for help if you're screaming,
now,
I need the toilet.
Having seen this, they're not going to believe you, so they're going to follow you into the toilet to see if you're really going.
And then I guess there'll be a lot of performance anxiety.
Yeah.
Just desperate. Come on. Come on. Furiously trying to do it.
If I had a blank, things would be a lot easier for me.
If I had, I guess if I had, I was going to say wings, but then I think
Like commuting and stuff.
Yeah, I think it would make my life a lot harder because I'd be the only person with wings, and I'd be sort of a genetic freak.
Yeah, teenagers would want to shoot you down.
Maybe. I think more I'd become like a spectacle, and I'd be sort of objectified as maybe a thing of...
you can have your sketch show!
Well, would I get the sketch show with the wings? Or
yes, you would.
No, I think I'd be getting documentaries made about me.
That's true.
Which is not what I want. You
Can
want...
we film you at 5 o'clock?
Yeah, you don't want that. You want to be behind the camera. You don't want Louis Theroux going.
That's true.
Like, if Louis Theroux turns up, you fucked up, right?
I know.
If Louis Theroux's at your door, you're like, what? You need to go back through your life and go, what have I done wrong?
Although
what's fucking weird about me? How I,
Yeah. He has been doing celebrity interviews though recently.
Yeah, I guess I could go on his podcast with the wings.
Yeah.
But then it'd feel like, have I earned any of this if it's just the wings that I wished on TalkBox?
It's after a gig and it's 2 a.m. I'm eating a blank at the blank shop.
Chicken shawarma is probably my go-to. I think late night food is a huge part of being a comedian. I think if you sort of try every different fast food place, I think you do need to try and find something that's more reliable, healthy. And the healthiest late night option past midnight probably is a chicken kebab or chicken shawarma with minimal sauce,
Nice.
I would say. You've got protein in there. It's like a wrap. You get all the salad you can. That feels like the most sustainable fast food. Though I was eating so much fast food in my open mic days that I even understood the difference in service level across the fast food shops.
Really?
So McDonald's, there's a huge consistency to the standards there that I respect about McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like anywhere across the world, that's one thing that's amazing about McDonald's.
Well, they have to do it to keep their trademark.
KFC, they treat you like absolute fucking shit because they know that the Colonel's 12 spice secret recipe is so good that you're going to keep coming back like crack addicts.
You're like Pavlov.
But they know you are. Yeah. They don't fucking salt the chips. You have to ask for that. They're livid about it. They're just like, there's no respect in there whatsoever. Now, Taco Bell, that has only a couple of sort of...
Wait, there's Taco Bell here?
There's some debut stores in
Bell.
around Paddington, and I've never been treated so well. I get called sir.
They want your service.
I imagine it's because Taco Bell's trying to make a foothold in the UK market.
Exactly.
So they're like, let's put the best foot forward. Because you often see that, new shop, this is great. As soon as they've got established brand, it all goes to shit.
They've got to beat Chipotle.
They've got to beat Chipotle. Well, Chipotle, when it arrived, was good.
Yeah.
And now Chipotle...
They've already got you.
They got you, so they don't give a fuck anymore. But yeah, I'd probably say Taco Bell, McDonald's, KFC for how much respect I get as a patron.
Wow, I didn't expect that. Last question. Blank is not funny until I've had a few wines in me.
Theater.
Like hard-hitting theater. Check off!
Yeah, if I'm pissed in a theatre seating, I'm giggling.
Yeah.
Don't know if you find that. If I'm a bit smashed and it's got this sort of velvet seats and kind of like the acoustically warm space of like a West End theatre, I'm just laughing my head off, no matter what's happened. Even though it's a Holocaust play, it's quite serious. Yeah, and it's still I'm just giddy.
Well, a lot of serious plays will have that one funny moment, and then it'll just be like a release for the audience.
That's the one time I'm not laughing. It's like I'm like in a perfume advert, you know. It's like go your own way. Right. The herd are all going laughing, but not me, because I'm wearing Dior Sauvage.
Now this is plug time. So
sure.
Anything you'd
I mean,
like
I think this. I've plugged for about 20 minutes, so I
feel. No, but anything else that you're doing? Are you doing any gigs? Stand? Are you doing a tour?
I decided I'm not going to do Edinburgh about a week ago.
Oh man!
I decided against it. I want to do some other stuff instead.
You're gonna have a free August?
Yeah. I mean, the way that we just give up our summers so readily.
I know.
It's mental. But I've got my old show, my old stand-up special. Hopefully it'll be out in 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
On
YouTube. Always YouTube.
That's YOUTUB.
Yeah. .com. And yeah, I've got my podcasts. And that's probably it. That's all I care to plug at this time.
And is Finn versus
No further plugs, Your Honour.
Gonna tour at all?
Yeah, we toured last year, and then there's talks of doing like a big one-off show this year. We don't know yet.
Amazing.
Or doing another. But with our tours, it's not like just the live version of the pod. It's like a theatre-y show. So we don't know if we'd do that. It'd probably be like quite a lot of run-up. So, but we don't know what will happen.
Well, listen. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
The sketch show's terrific.
I appreciate that.
I hope you keep doing it.
I hope so too. It means a lot coming from Rick Fulcher.
That was Horatio Gould. Oh my gosh. You know about his podcast, but he's got a sketch show coming up. So check it out on YouTube. And if you want to support Rich Fulcher's TalkBox, you can get a Patreon membership. It's wonderful. It'll unlock your world to a whole panoply of fun and prizes. Not really prizes, but maybe. All right? Okay, thank you for your support. Rich Fulcher's TalkBox.